Okay, so this is a book by Irving Goffman, and I actually used this book in my PhD because I wrote a lot about performance of the self in everyday life, which is basically what this book is called. So my thesis was about how we perform in front of people and how that can change depending on different contexts, and what that means for those people who have migrated to a different country and are living in between different cultures. So his work is pretty interesting. So he's a sociologist, and his work's been criticized quite a bit, but overall I thought that a lot of the things that he had to say was quite interesting. So I thought I would read just a bit from the first chapter called Performances. And this kind of links a little bit to the book that you read about drama. Belief in the part one is playing. When an individual plays a part, he implicitly requests his observers to take seriously the impression that is fostered before them. They are asked to believe that the character they see actually possesses the attributes he appears to possess, that the task he performs will have the consequences that are implicitly claimed for it, and that, in general, matters are what they appear to be. In line with this, there is the popular view that the individual offers his performance and puts on his show, quote-unquote, for the benefit of other people. It will be convenient to begin a consideration of performances by turning the question around and looking at the individual's own belief in the impression of reality that he attempts to engender in those among whom he finds himself. At one extreme, one finds that the performer can be fully taken by his own act. He can be sincerely convinced that the impression of reality which he stages is the real reality. When his audience is also convinced in this way about the show he puts on, and this seems to be the typical case, then for the moment at least, only the sociologist or the socially disgruntled will have any doubts about the realness of what is presented. At the other extreme, we find that the performer may not be taken in at all by his own routine. This possibility is understandable, since no one is in quite as good an observational position to see through the act as the person who puts it on. Coupled with this, the performer may be moved to guide the conviction of his audience only as a means to other ends, having no ultimate concern in the conception that they have of him or of the situation. When the individual has no belief in his own act and no ultimate concern with the beliefs of his audience, we may call him cynical, reserving the term sincere for individuals who believe in the impression fostered by their own performance. It should be understood that the cynic, with all his professional disinvolvement, may obtain unprofessional pleasures from his masquerade, experiencing a kind of gleeful spiritual aggression from the fact that he can toy at all with something his audience must take seriously.